Hi everyone. In this video, we discuss sequence data types in Python. Before starts today's video, let us recall what have we discussed in our last video. What is the use of data type, primitive data types and user-defined data types? What are the major types in the primitive data types? What is type conversion? How to convert one number of one system to another number system? What are the different types of numeric data types available in the Python? Already these are covered in our previous video. After watching this video, you will be able to know what is sequence data type, what is string and how to represent the string. Is Python supports character data type? Is Python supports negative indexing? How to create a list? What is the difference between list and tuple? How to use range function? Difference between bytes data type and byte array data type. Let us start our discussion with what is sequence data type. A sequence is an ordered collection. This is the important term. A sequence is an ordered collection of similar or different data types. In simple terms, it is a collection of the elements. The elements may be belongs to the same data type or different data types. And each and every element internally maintains a particular order. Or simply you can understand sequence data type means those elements must follow sequential order. In Python, we have 6 types of these sequences. Those are string data type, list, tuple, range, bytes and byte array. These are called sequences or sequence data types in Python. Let us start our discussion one by one. First one is string. A string is represented by group of characters or sequence of the characters. You may say a string is a collection of the characters. And string constants or string values are enclosed within the single quotes or within the double quotes. Two are valid in the Python. Generally in C, C++, Java, string values are always enclosed within the double quotes. Character values are enclosed within the single quotes. But in Python, strings are enclosed either in single quotes or in double quotes. Two are valid. This is very important point. Strings are immutable. Immutable means not modifiable, not changeable. Once you create the string constant values, those values are not changeable. You cannot change the values. You cannot modify those values. Strings are objects of Python's built-in class string, that is str. When you create a string variable, those are object to the built-in class str. Then how to access individual elements in the string? As we discussed, string is a collection of the characters or sequence of the characters. We are using index mechanism to access the individual elements. Within the square brackets, we need to write index to access the specified character. Always indices starts from 0 and incremented by 1. Python supports negative index also. This is very important point in Python. In C, C++, Java, we use positive index mechanism only. But in Python, additionally we have negative index mechanism also. Index -1 indicates first element from the last, or in simple terms, the last element. If the index value is -2, that indicates that is the second element from the last. In this way, you can use negative index also to access the elements. For example, see I am creating a string. For that, the syntax is string variable name str1. Assignment within the double quotes, or you can use single quotes, write the string constant or string value. So here Java is my string value. After storing the string value, if you want to access the elements or characters individually, how to access that? These are called elements or values. Always index value is starts from 0 in the positive index mechanism. Your string variable name within the square bracket, if you write 0, that indicates first character in your string. And always string is incremented by 1. We discussed already. String variable name within the square bracket, you need to write 1. That indicates second character in your string. In the same way, next index is 2 and that indicates next character and so on. If you want to use negate index value to access the elements, within the square bracket -1 indicates first character from the last. -2 indicates second character from the last. -3 indicates third character from the last and so on. This is how to access individual elements of these strings using positive index values and negative index values. Let us try to implement all these. See, here I am using Google Colab. One of our videos already we discussed how to use Google Colab. Okay, please refer that if you didn't watch that. In this example, I am creating a string and here the string constant value is enclosed within the single quote, assigning that value for my variable string1. Then I want to print that. I am executing this. The output of this program is hello world. Then I want to create another string by using the double quotes. My string variable name is string2. String constant is hello string2. Then executing, the output is hello string2. Take one more case. If you want to assign a string constant value in multiple lines, if you observe in the previous two examples, I am assigning the string constant value in a single line. But whenever you want to assign a string with multi-line, we can use triple single quotes or triple double quotes. This is my string constant. Here I am using triple double quotes. I am executing this. Now you will get the string constant value what you assigned. Now take one more case. I want to embed a string within the other string. Suppose I want to print a string value. We are discussing about Python programming subject. Within this, but at the time of the printing, I want to print double quotes for the string Python programming. And as per the rules, starting with double quotes, ending with double quotes. Let us see the output. So we are getting error. Start a double quotes, and when you write double quotes second time, the PVM treats this is the ending point of your string constant. That is the reason the PVM will raise an error. In this case, you can use single quotes from the starting point and at the ending point. And within that, what is the string you want to embed? That should be enclosed within the double quote. Simple. Now, if you print it, we will get the out. You can implement reverse of this. In this case, you can use double quotes at the starting point and at the ending point. For the embedded string, you need to use single quotes. I am executing this. Now we will get the output without getting any error. Now observe Python programming within the double quotes and here Python programming within the single quote. In C, C++, Java, if you want to store single character, we have the data type character data type. Let us see is Python supports character data type or not. I am assigning a single character s to the variable ch. Now I want to know the data type of this ch variable. Already we discussed about the type predefined function, which is used to return the data type of that particular object or variable. I am executing this. Class str. Here the variable or object treated as string type, not character type. So in Python, even though you are assigning a single character within the single quotes, the Python treats that also as a string type. See this example. Python is my string constant here. Your variable name 0 indicates first character, that is P. Your variable name index is 1, that indicates second character in your string constant and so on. So I am executing this. Now you can get the output Python. One case is I have a string constant that is Python. The indices value starts from 0, ends with 5. But if you write 6 index, now see, I am executing this. String index out of range. While accessing the elements, you need to take care is that index is exist or not. If you write any index value out of the range, you will get an error. Now see one more example how to access the elements using negative index. First element from the last, -2 indicates. Second element from the last, I am executing this. Now you can observe the Python string will be printed in the reverse manner because I have taken -1 index first, -1, -2, -3. We discussed already string is a immutable object. Let us check it. So I stored a string constant Ramu in the variable name. So name 0 indicates the character or already we have discussed that how to access individual characters. I want to update the character R with yes. Now see you are getting an error. String object doesn't support item assignment. You are not allowed to assign the values. You are not supposed to change the values because strings are immutable, not changeable objects. In Python, the list is a collection of items of similar or different data types. This is a common property for all the sequences, and you can store multiple items using the single variable name, and those items maybe belongs to any data type of the Python. That may be integers type, float type, string type, or that element may be another list also. That element may be another tuple also. Any valid Python data type. List can grow dynamically in the memory. If you observe arrays in the C, C++, Java, the array size is fixed. But here list grows dynamically in the memory. When you add the new element, automatically the memory will be increased. List items are mutable. Very important point. List allows duplicate values. You can enter the same value multiple times. In the list, the data elements are separated by the comma, and those elements are enclosed within the square bracket. Syntax to create the list is list variable name, assignment, use the square brackets. You must write the values separated by comma. How many values you want to store, that many you can write. Example, numbers is my list variable, assignment. Open the square bracket, write the elements and close the square bracket. Then how to access the individual elements in the list? It is same as the string sequence. We can use index mechanism and we must use square brackets, and positive, negative, two are available here also. See the example, list 1, assignment, and these are the elements of my list. You can observe first one is integer type, second element is float type, third is integer, and fourth one is string type. Let us see the examples for the better understanding. Then see how to create the list with similar data elements. List 1, that is variable name, assignment, within the square brackets you can write the elements. In this example, all elements are belongs to integer type only. Print the list 10, 59, 69, we are getting the output. Then if you want to create the list with different data elements, my list name is list2, within the square brackets, first element is 10 integer type, second element is computer string type, third element is 75.50 float type. Then I want to print this. Click on run button. See, this is the output. Now creating a list with duplicate data elements. So this is my list variable name, list3, and these are my elements. I stored 42 times, 10 2 times. I want to print this. See the output. Now you are getting the elements how we stored. You stored 42 times, in the output also you are getting 42 times. Then for the accessing, this is same as the string type. Here I am using positive indices. Now you can observe the output 10, 40.6 and Python. You can use negative index also, -1, -2, -3 in the reverse order. Python 40.56, 10 will be printed. Observe the index out of range for the list also. Here we have 0, 1, 2. But I am trying to using the index value 3. In this case you are getting the error, list index out of range error. Lists are mutable or changeable. So this is my list. I want to change the value. For that, variable name at index 0, I want to update the value with 256. Previously at index 0 we have the value 10. Now I want to update that 0 index value with 256. So in the second index I want to store the value pvm. Then printing that updated list. See the output. Now we are getting updated values. We are not getting any error even though we are trying to change the values because lists are mutable. Next sequence type is tuple. Tuple contain one or more items and separated by comma, and those may belongs to any Python data type. Those are common. All the elements must be enclosed within the parenthesis. And tuple is immutable, not changeable. Tuples are used to write protect data because once you create, you are not allowed to change the values. Write protect means you can read the data only. That is the reason you can say that tuple is a read-only version of list. Syntax to create the tuple is tuple variable name, assignment, within the parenthesis, write the values separated by comma. Example, tuple 1 is my tuple variable name, assignment, within the parenthesis, write the element separated by comma. Even though this is a good practice to write the parenthesis to create the tuples, but without the parenthesis also we can create. Let us see the implementation for the tuple data type. Let us see the example. I am trying to create the tuple here and I want to check is branches treated as a tuple type or not. For that I am using again type and then I want to print the value of branches also. Class tuple. What is the data type of this branches? Tuple type. Now we are getting the complete data elements as the output. Now creating the tuple with different data elements. See, we are getting the output without any error. Now tuples are immutable. We are not allowed to modify that. But I created one tuple. I am trying to update the 0 index value with 69. So here we are getting the error. Tuple object doesn't support item assignment. The range function is used to generate the immutable sequence of numbers. The values are generated with 0 by default. The generated values are incremented by 1 by default and stops before a specified number. See the syntax how to create the range. It has 3 arguments: start, stop, step. Start is optional. An integer number specifying at which position to start. What is the first integer value you want to generate? That indicates start, but it is the optional one. And second argument is stop, but this is mandatory. It is an integer value that specifies at which position you want to stop the generating the numbers. But this number is excluded. Next, third argument is step. This is also optional. It is an integer number specifying the incrementation. See the examples: range function with single argument, and here I am using for loop. Don't worry about the for loop, we will cover it later, but focus on range. So as per our discussion, always the number starts from 0 and this will generate 6 numbers. So the numbers are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Stopped before the 6. Here 6 is excluded, not included in the number. Again I am using the same range but with 2 arguments where start and stop. If you execute this, see 3, 4, 5 only because 6 is excluded. Now I am using the same range function with 3 arguments: start, stop, step size. If your step size is 2, next element will be 5, next element will be 7. That is the meaning of step. By default the step value is 1 if you are not mentioning. Now see the output. Started the numbers with the 3 and step size is 2. That is the reason second number is 5, 7, 9 plus 2 every time incremented by plus 2, and the last number is 19 because the stopping value is 20. Next sequence type is bytes. The bytes data type represents a group of byte numbers. Byte number is nothing but any positive integer values. The range is 0 to 255. These only valid by using the bytes data type. We cannot store any negative numbers using the bytes data type. And this is immutable. See the examples for the byte data type. Here we use bytes function to convert the numbers into the bytes type. So before creating the bytes type numbers, I am creating a one list. So already we know how to create a list. This is my list. And I want to convert this list numbers into the bytes type. For that we need to use bytes function. Now these numbers, these data elements are converted into the bytes type. Then I want to print that. Execute this. Now you can observe 1, 2, 5, 8. Let me give the last value as 900 and run it. You will get an error. Bytes must be in the range 0 to 256. Here 256 is excluded. The meaning is 0 to 255. Okay, that is the reason we are getting error, because we entered the value 900, that is out of the range of the byte data type. B1 of 0 indicates first element, that is 1. Now I am trying to update the value. Bytes are immutable. If you are trying to change the value, you will get an error. So here I want to update the value. I want to change the value at the index 0. But you are getting the error. Bytes object doesn't support item assignment. And finally, the last sequence data type is byte array. This byte array is similar to the bytes data type. The major difference is that bytes are immutable, but this byte array is mutable. Let us see the example program creating a list, and by using byte array function, I am converting the list into the byte array type. I want to access the first element, so here I am using positive index and run it. You will get the output 1. Let us try to update the value. B2 of 0 at the index 0, I want to update the value with 10. Previously the value was 1, right? Now execute this. The value is 10 because the value is updated, because byte array is mutable. So in this video, the main key points are all the sequence data types are two types: mutable, immutable. List and byte array are mutable. All the remaining fours, that is tuple, string, range, bytes data type, these are immutable. Check your knowledge, what you learned from this video. What is sequence data type? What is string and how to represent the strings? Is Python supports character data type? Is Python supports negative indexing? How to create a list? What is the difference between list and tuple? How to use range function? What is the difference between bytes type and bytes array type? If this video is useful to you, please subscribe the channel, watch and share the videos. Thank you.